So to actually look and see how we can use these concepts, how we can apply these concepts, how we can use the unit test module from Python, how we can use that on our Excel workbooks, we're going to download a new project from GitHub here. You can click on it, and if you know how to use Git, you can obviously clone the project, but you can also just download the zip file here. And then once you have downloaded it, you can right click on it and then say extract all. We extract it here, and then let's say we can also move our folder to the desktop here. And when we open it, then we see we have one workbook and one source file. So let's, as usual, open both of these. And also here the source code. And you see that I have down here, I have 3 tests, these 3. And then I have a setup and a teardown method here. Teardown, well, I don't do too much for just now, but the setup function runs every time in front of a unit test. So here I am actually setting up a connection to my workbook, and then I am mapping my VBA code or my VBA macro, my VBA function here to an equivalent function name here in Python. So I have always access from all of these functions. I have access to my VBA function and to my VBA workbook. So let's have a look first at the VBA part. So I'm again going to use Alt F11 as a key combination, and I'm going to check out what code we have here in our VBA module. And it's a very simplistic sample of a function. It's just a sum of 2 input values. And to run a unit test on that is very easy now. So I just say, okay, I'm testing the function as such in VBA, and I'm going to put in a 1 and a 2, and as we all know, this has to be equal to 3. I'm also using the assert almost equal assertion here because we're dealing with floating point numbers here, and they can be, well, they can diverge in very, very, very small amounts, and assert almost equal makes sure that we are not getting wrong results because of floating point inaccuracies. As I said, this function here, including is going to check VBA that code. It's actually a true unit test, so it's really just testing that the function returns the output that we expect. So 1 plus 2 has to be equal to 3. Then the second function here, the second test, is actually testing if, well, the result that we get from Excel corresponds to the result that we would get from Python. So we are going to sum up the 2 arguments here using, again, self.mysum, which is the VBA version, and then I'm going to do the same using the Python built-in sum function here, and obviously they also should be ending up giving me the same result. But this is not a true unit test in that case. It's more of a model validation because it cross-compares the model that we have in VBA with the highly tested model that we have in Python. The model for this sake of demo is obviously very simple. It's just sum, but usually you'd have some more complex functionality that you wanted to test here against a third-party library. Then we are going to have a third test, and the third test is not going to be running or comparing the result from VBA, but it's actually going to double check the cell logic. So given the flexibility of xlwings, you can obviously also build tests that take into account what is expected on the cells level. So this here is a typical example where we have a column-oriented table here, and you can tell that, well, we're going to continue here in March at some point, and then what the test does is actually it reads in the table here going from range B1 to the lower right part, and then it actually checks if for each column, if the value that we have on the fourth row, this guy over here, if that corresponds to the value that we have in the second and in the third row, because that one here, as you can tell, is the sum of these two rows. All right, so that's like the setup. We've seen two tests on the VBA, one unit test, one cross model check to see if a third-party implementation comes up with the same result as what we have done in VBA. And then the third one is checking the cell logic, if everything is working out there. So let's go into our command prompt and let's just say Python. No, actually we need to change into our directory from our repository here, and now I can make that a bit bigger. Now I can use Python-m unit test, and it should run all three tests, and you see that they actually do pass. So everything is working out great. So let's go back one by one through all these tests, and let's see how we can, well, break them or whatever we have to consider by working with them. So let's say by, somebody comes in here and changes the sign, then we can rerun the three tests, and you can see that two of the three tests failed because obviously Python gets another sum for the two arguments, but also our check here does not return the value that we expected. But at the same time, we need to be a bit careful here, because if we had put in 2 and 2, we would expect obviously 4, but now running the tests, we will see that it was a bad decision. I need to save that on top. So when we rerun that, you can see that we only have one test failing, because obviously for the very sample that I'm using here, 2 and 2, we get the same result, whether it's plus or a multiplication. So just keep that in mind, that sometimes you can test something and it can, well, pass, and it still is no guarantee for it to be absolutely correct. All right, so let's switch this back to the correct one, and this should then allow us to pass all functions or all tests again. Now let's turn our attention to the third test, which is about the content here of that table. So a very common task is to actually extend that every week or every day, or in this case here, every month. And then maybe, adjust the numbers, and then we, well, hope that we didn't do any errors in dragging over the cells, and it should obviously work. Now, if we run the test, that will indeed be correct because we extended the cells in a correct way. But let's imagine that, well, the tool is a little bit more complex, and maybe you don't really remember that you're supposed to be dragging over the formula from your left to your right. But maybe you're dragging it from the top to the bottom, and from here there's not much you can tell that something went obviously wrong because the numbers, they all look the same. Well, the sum is maybe now obvious that it isn't right, but if you have 200 columns, then nobody will check that manually. So it's better to do that here with our unit tests. So let's run them again, and you can see that now my test here that checks the sum does actually indicate that I have the wrong value here. And by leveraging our expand function that we have introduced in the basic tutorials, we can make sure that whenever the table grows, that it'll be taken into account automatically by our test here without having to adjust the test range, for instance. So that's also a very practical way of getting back control and implementing checks on your regularly and predictably changing Excel workbooks.